Welcome in to be our guest. We have somebody very special with us today on a very timely and important topic, and that's Melanie Beasley from the Family Sunshine Center. And you deal with abused women. And there's been a tremendous amount, Jack, on domestic abuse, and we want to get information out to all of you so that you have some real facts to sort out, and so that you know that you don't have to live like that.
You know, I was on one of the original boards when they first started the Family Sunshine Center. We were in a little house on on Forest Avenue, I think, in a little old white house we crammed into a room. And this was probably 25, almost 30 years ago. And we realized then that there was a problem, and it seems like it's just not going away.
Absolutely not. And you know, it's really hit the forefront recently with some of the news we're seeing, and it's amazing that a picture is indeed worth 1,000 words.
Yes.
Because one of the things I've said in the last week or so is that the sad thing is there had to be a pictorial account of it before people would believe it.
Right.
And that's one of the problems that victims have, is they're afraid that people won't believe them if they talk about it. And then sometimes they don't. Sometimes they get the blame for it.
So one of the biggest factors has to be fear.
True.
For someone to stay in that situation, I would think.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And that's one thing that I really wanted to talk about today, because one of the biggest questions to emerge from all of this is, why do they stay? And you know, the primary motivating factor is fear. And it may be fear for their lives, or the lives of their children, or the lives of their parents, or the lives of their pets. Perpetrators will threaten, and you know, oftentimes they carry through with those threats incrementally up to the point of lethality.
So is domestic violence normally something that increases?
It does. I mean, what we see, the trend is that it may start with verbal abuse, name calling, making a person feel really badly about themselves, and then escalate. You know, a perpetrator is going to use the element of force they need to maintain that power and control. So, you know, if they are not able to do that strictly with the verbal, emotional abuse, then they will escalate to the physical violence, up until the point, and you see this all the time, of murder-suicide.
True, true.
Well, and a lot of times what happens is the person that's the victim, they're afraid to tell somebody about it, because they feel that if somebody then intervenes with the perpetrator, then if that person's not put to jail, they fear for retaliation, don't they?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that's we try to train various elements of society, various professionals, and that includes clergy members. And I think one of the things that a clergy person might immediately do is try to bring the couple in and counsel. Well, we know that can be a fatal thing to do, because, you know, if that victim opens up in front of that clergy person and they're all together, then when they get home, they are punished for it.
So what are the alternatives? Where do these people get help?
Well, we are so lucky in Montgomery, Alabama, to have excellent resources. At the Family Sunshine Center, we have a shelter where someone can achieve a safe haven from domestic violence. They can do that by calling a crisis line. 1-800-650-6522 is that number, and that number is going to take you to the shelter serving the county where you reside. So it's not just a Family Sunshine Center number. There are 18 shelters around the state. So there is somebody close to you who can bring help. In Montgomery, we have the One Place Family Justice Center, where there is, you know, it's a one-stop shop, so that somebody is not frustrated by having to go here, there, and all over town trying to achieve services.
My question, if I were a woman in that position and I were just really in fear of my life, or my children's life, my children, that'd be the main thing for me.
Right.
Do what you want to me, but don't you hurt my child.
Right.
But economics are another factor, I would assume, too, because you know you're looking at how am I going to live if
Yeah.
you don't. But how I want to be sure that I would be safe if I take that step out.
Right.
And most women leave, what, 7 times
Exactly.
before they ever actually get out?
Exactly.
So
It's a process.
Yeah. How safe? If I'm a woman watching this and I see you and today is the day that I
Right.
decide no more, I want to feel like I'm going to be safe.
You know, and that's what our shelter clients tell us, that they lay their head on a peaceful pillow for the first time maybe in years. So we have a shelter at an undisclosed location. It's very secure. We've never had an incident there. So I think that we offer victims extreme safety. And you know, what we do when they come in is allow them to rest a little while first and just get their sea legs, you know, because so many times they've been deprived of rest and any level of peace of mind. They stay hyper alert all the time waiting for that next boot to fall, if you will. So we allow them a little time to rest, get their bearings, and then we start talking to them about what are your goals for your life. What is your wish list? Would you like to go back to school? Would you like our help in getting a job? Have you ever had a checking account? Do you know anything about managing finances? Let's start from point A and build up in little small baby steps and get you to where you want to be in your life to live independently and safely.
Beautiful. So you don't just come for a day or two and have a place to run, you have a place to get rebuilt.
Right,
Wonderful.
exactly.
Right.
Melanie, thank you so much. And I hope this has been helpful to some, if we touched one person in our audience, it would be worth every minute of this time. So thank you so very much for being with us.
Thank y'all for having us.
You're
and we
welcome.
take it one victim at the time, one
Good.
day at the time.
Right.
Thank you for what you do, and thank you for being with us, and we'll be right back.